Hello, my loves. We are back with part 3 of the 3 ways I have used Facebook and Instagram ads to scale my group program from 0 to over 100 clients and my business as a whole. And this might be my favorite one to talk about, and it is the low ticket funnel. So I want to talk through some of the things that are so important when you're running low ticket offer ads. And then I'm going to tell you all about my own funnel, my own ad data, exactly how much I spent, how much I made, all of those fun, juicy things, of course. Now, the first thing I want you to understand about the low ticket funnel is that these are not meant to be your big money makers on the front end, right? These are more meant to be your lead generators. So, with the evergreen webinar funnel that we talked about in the last part of the podcast, we are paying for leads to get something for free in a hopes that we get enough volume. And of course, there's more than hopes and vibes, but with the strategy being that you get enough volume of bringing in the right people with the right messaging so that you can then pitch your offer and help them with your offer. Now, the low ticket offer ads are meant to be a more quality over quantity strategy. So you're getting less leads in the door, but the idea is that the quality of those leads are higher, that a larger percentage of them should buy your big offer because these are people who are already ready and willing to get out their wallets and pay you to help them solve a problem that they have. Sometimes some people have the idea that when you run a free lead magnet, you are filling your list with freebie seekers. I don't necessarily believe that. I have plenty of people that buy from my freebie funnel, but this is another fun way to bring in the right people and to have the option to make some money on the front end. So notice I said some because, again, this is not going to be how you put food on the table, but it can be really fun to get paid to generate leads, especially coming from a world where I am so used to paying for leads. So let's talk about the 5 things you need for a low ticket offer funnel to work as far as ads go. 1, you need a no-brainer offer that solves an immediate niche problem for your people, and it needs to be at that no-brainer price point. For context, right off the bat, I sold a whole mini course that taught people how to launch their first ad for $17. The second thing you need is killer ads. Obviously, again, a lot of people depend on the sales page and the follow-up to make their sales. No, with low ticket offer ads, we have to sell a lot and straight from the ad in order to have people already bought in when they click to that sales page or checkout page. Which leads me to the third thing that you need. You need a killer sales page or checkout page with lots of social proof and testimonials. I mentioned this trust recession that we're in, where a lot of people are pausing before they buy something from an ad, even if it seems like it's going to solve their problem, because they likely have been burned before by something they bought from an ad or bought from someone online. So even at a super low price point, people are going to pause. And like I said, going back to number 1, your offer needs to be such a no-brainer that people are so excited to buy it, not thinking twice. The fourth thing you need is great follow-up into your bigger ticket offer. So that might look like a nurture sequence. For me with the mini course, it looked like the last lesson of that course. And throughout the course, I'm talking about my bigger program and positioning it as the answer to their bigger problems. So my mini course is solving their visibility problem, but my big course solves their overall business scaling problem. And the last thing that you need is on-point tracking, reporting, and testing to know what's working. So that's the overview. I want to dive into each of them. Starting with number 1, the no-brainer price point and offer that solves an immediate niche problem. The immediate niche problem is the big thing here. So I see a lot of people trying to sell live workshops and let me think what else. Other types of mini courses, what have you. And a lot of times these things aren't selling an immediate niche problem. They are trying to promise the bigger problem that people would come to you for your bigger offer for. So I had a client who was a business coach for photographers specifically. She had 2 low ticket offers that we tested. The first one was all about writing captions for getting more photography clients. She would have a lot of people coming to her saying they don't know what to say in their captions, what have you. So she created a low ticket offer where she has a little video module, a GPT, these kinds of things to help them write their captions. Does this solve a specific problem? Yes. Is it an immediate need for her clients? Not necessarily, at least not when positioned like the way I just said it. A bigger, more immediate need for her clients was that none of their content was being seen because of algorithm changes. So instead of using her caption, Volt, and GPT and lessons as her low ticket offer, we switched things up. She included some of that in the new offer, but she created an offer that helped with volume, getting more reach on their reels, getting more followers. And she created a mini course to help people learn how other photographers learn how to do that. That's the one that popped off because that felt like an immediate niche problem for her clientele. And then she sold a big mentorship program on the other side of it for people who really wanted to scale their photography business using more than just social media. Social media was a part of her framework that she taught. Okay, so a lot of times you might be thinking too broad and too big when it comes to your low ticket offer. Keep going down. What's one thing you could teach that's going to solve an immediate problem? For my low ticket mini course, people just had no idea how to get an ad up in the first place. So I taught a very simple ad that can get them more visibility fast, but it's not teaching them the other things that they need to know in order to scale their ads up to get consistent leads and sales from them. The second thing you need is killer ads. Again, I can say this till I'm blue in the face. A graphic with a cute headline and 4 lines of copy is not going to cut it, especially for a low ticket offer funnel. You really need to make sure you take up space with your copy to show your people that you understand what they're going through. You understand that this is a problem and you know what they've been trying to solve it. And you can explain why that's not the route they should be going. This is. Your solution is the route they should be going, and this is why it works. And here is proof of how it works. My favorite type of ad for years now has been the long form B-roll. I don't see tons of people doing it. It's so wild to me because anytime I try to test something else, I come back to this time and time again. Long form B-roll. Different clips of you doing your thing with different text that pops up for each new clip, taking your people through that journey that I just talked about. Obviously, on the video, it's very much clipped down, and then your actual caption or the copy of the ad is what's going to be a little bit longer. Face to camera talking ads can do really well too if you do those right. Number 3, you need to think about where you're sending people from your ad. So it's either going to be a sales page or straight to a checkout page. If your ad is really good, you can get away with sending them straight to a checkout page. This is something that ultimately needs to be tested and tracked meticulously to see which works better. For me, sending to the sales page was better. I think being in the marketing niche, there is even more hesitation, more resistance to buying another marketing program because my people are being marketed to so much that they needed a little more context, a little more social proof to commit to buying. The next thing you need is that killer follow-up into your bigger ticket offer. So this is one of the biggest mistakes I made is not having a quality email sequence when I started these ads that would really guide people from where they're at and from the results they're getting from the mini course into why they need Hometown Advantage, my big offer. And that's something we're iterating right now to get these ads back up and running. They still converted, but I just knew they could be converting so much better with that. Okay, so there's lots of ways we can do this. We can put it inside the offer, of course. You've got your email sequence, and then we can run retargeting ads too. So we can write and run ads that speak to the person who already bought the low ticket offer and tell them about how great things will be when they get full support. And then lastly, number 5, on-point tracking, reporting, and testing to know what's working. You need to be tracking what types of ads have the best sales page conversion rate. Is your conversion rate higher going from a sales page or a checkout page? Which types of ads are converting more people? Which types of ads are getting more clicks? Which wording in our hooks is getting a higher CTR all percentage rate? These are all things you need to be watching and tracking so that you can use them to guide your decision going forward. So I have one ad, specifically one hook, that always drives so many conversions, whether it's leads or sales. No matter what, when I use this hook, my ad performance skyrockets. So I take that information and I find different ways to say the same thing, because I'm not trying to say the same exact thing in every single ad, of course. And then I also use that messaging across my entire funnel. So the sales page, the emails, my organic content. And it's crazy how the messaging from the hook of the ad completely changes the results of the entire funnel. Sales page conversion is higher from this ad. Return on ad spend is higher from this ad. Just a hook. Okay, so you have to know what to watch for. You have to know what numbers mean what so that you know what to test and try next. Okay, before I get into my own numbers, I want to mention one more thing that I haven't yet, and that is strategic upsells. So when I get into my numbers, you're going to hear about how I was actually able to make some money on the front end before anyone bought Hometown Advantage, the bigger program, just from these low ticket ads. And it was because of strategic upsells. If I was only selling my $17 mini course, I would have lost money on the front end. I still would have made money from people buying Hometown Advantage, so it's not a loss. But because of the strategic upsells, I was able to actually make money before anyone bought Hometown Advantage, which was so fun. So talk about no-brainer. These need to be even more so no-brainer because you have less space to sell them. They are going to be something small at the bottom of your checkout page that people can either check the box or uncheck the box if they don't want it. They can check the box to get this usually one-time offer deal on another product that may help them. So for me, I had a Reels 101 workshop that I sold as an upsell for $7. I had ad graphics templates and reel templates and copy templates that I sold for probably $27. Those were easy to sell because it was very much like you can take this course to learn exactly how to set up your ad, and then you can use these templates to create your ad in less than 10 minutes. And then the bigger thing that was really the moneymaker was I actually sold custom ad strategies that I delivered through the DMs as an upsell. I started these at $29 and I got way too many. I couldn't keep up with them as best as I wanted to. So I kept raising the price. I ended up getting the price up to $150 and people were still buying, but at a much easier rate for me to keep up with. But if you think about it and you're spending $150 a day, I only need to sell one custom ad strategy to make my money back and then some because of the actual mini course that they're buying. People are craving customized, personalized, one-on-one support that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. So this was really popular. It was a great way for me to connect with clients through DMs and be able to talk more with them about joining my bigger program. Okay, let's dive into my own stats from when I ran this funnel in February and March. So I'm going into my own data spreadsheet right now. In February, I launched these and I ended up spending $4,200 on these ads. And my total revenue from them was $5,150, which ended up being $883 profit after ad spend before anyone bought my program. Okay, in March, the profits were a little bit less, even though I spent more. But see, in February, I brought in 54 new leads. It cost me around $36 to bring in one lead versus my freebie ads, which cost around $7 or $8. But my average order value was above that $36 that it cost me to acquire them. So that's how I made my money on the front end. In March, I spent just over $6,000 in ad spend, and I made $388 profit after ad spend. That month, I brought in 74 new purchases or leads, but my cost per acquisition was a little bit higher because I was spending a little bit more. And to be completely honest, in March, that's when we did a full Disney trip as a family, and I barely touched my ads for probably over a week. And I kept bringing in new purchases and new leads. But like I mentioned at the top of this, you have to be on top of these ads to really be profitable and to be really successful. You have to be in there daily, tracking what's working and what's not, and turning off audiences, testing new audiences, scaling back budgets here, scaling up budgets here, testing new hooks, all of that fun stuff. All in all, from these ads, I ended up enrolling 8 new members into my program, which cost $1,500 at the time. So I made almost in revenue from that. But when you add up all the revenue I made from the low ticket sales, all of the revenue I made from the Hometown Advantage sales, and get the total profit after ad spend from there, it was just over $12,000 over those first 2 months of running the ads. My lead to sale conversion rate was only 2.5% in those 2 months. Now, a caveat to that is that since then, I have had a lot of people join the program who have bought this mini course while I was running these ads. They just didn't buy it in those first 2 months. Okay, so 2 morals of the story there. 1, you don't have to have outlandish conversion rates to see a good profit from your ads. Of course, it's helpful. And the second moral of the story is that even if people don't convert right away, again, you are building your list full of people who want to invest in solving this problem that you can help them solve. So sales are a coming. To get your own low ticket offer funnel up and running, get ads running to it, start making 50, 60, hundreds of sales over the next couple months and converting those sales into your higher ticket offer, me and my team can help you do exactly that. We will do it for you. The first 3 people that sign on for Done For You services over the next couple months will get a complimentary audit of your entire funnel, specific steps of things to change, things to rewrite in order to make it even higher converting for when we get ads turned on. And that's normally an extra service that I do. Now is the time to jump in. People are going to be getting into their buying mode. They are going to be ready to lay foundations for their life and their business going into 2026. You do not want to wait to get this up. Let's get it up. We will help you get it converting and maintaining them day to day, testing your messaging, testing your audiences, making sure you're sending people to the right place, creating new ads for you, all of that. I want to help you do that. Please, please, if you're interested, grab the call link in the show notes or send me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram is NicoleEldridge_ads. Send us an email, support@NicoleEldridgeMedia.com. We would love to support you in scaling your business to the moon, right? I hope you enjoyed this 3-part series. If you have any questions about any of these funnels and ads I've ran over this year to grow my business, let's chat about it. This is my favorite thing to talk about, and I'm here to support you.